What's good, everybody? It's your boy Brees, and welcome to the What's Cookin' Podcast, a podcast for all the hottest entrepreneurs around the city and around the world. So today we got my guy to my left, Queen's finest, my boy Don, and he's gonna let you know just a little bit about what he does. And Don, take it away.
All right, so my name is Sean, but I go by Dawn. Most people know me as Dawn Black or Dawn the Jeweler. I have multiple things that I'm invested in right now. But my main thing right now is jewelry. We have the car rentals, we have the construction, we have the stocks. But today we're gonna try to just focus more on the jewelry.
Yes, sir. So the way that I met Don was through our previous guest, Zach. So Wealthy Zach, shout out to him. He reached out to me personally, said, "Hey, you know, we just dropped the episode yesterday, but I have a guy that's interested in being on the podcast." I said, "Sure, of course, set it up." So had a three-way conversation, and a week later we're here. So, it's definitely a pleasure to have you here. And it shows you there for all the people that have been delaying on our Royal Connections events. Come to Royal Connections so you can make those Royal Connections. Because if I ain't meet Zach, sure, I definitely would have met Don today. So
for sure,
it's a pleasure. So shout out to Motion of Success as well. Those are some good guys that we met at Royal Connections, and I seen you were featured on their platform as well. And, I definitely did get a chance to learn a lot about you and about what you do and things like that. So I'm sure everybody, even though I know the answer, I'm sure everybody wants to know what got you into jewelry.
So what got me into jewelry, that's something I've always been interested in. I've always been buying jewelry, even if it was little stuff. Started at Pagoda, that store in the mall, again, little gold chains. Then I got a few pieces in the Diamond District. I finally got my first custom when I was in college. And then just watching the process, watching how much money came through the hands, seeing all that. And then I noticed we spend the most money. When I say we, I'm talking about the minority community. We spend the most money in that, what's the word? In that industry. And we don't really receive as much as we should. So I was I'm gonna take a step in this industry and we're gonna make it happen. 3 years in now and we doing good so far.
That's what's up. So, not to swear away, but a little icebreaker. How do you feel about the election?
The election, I'm not too much into politics. I'm very much, people gonna kill me just for saying that. You say one side, people kill you. You say the other side, people kill you. You say you're not into it, people kill you. But I'm very community based. I like to focus on what I can change myself. So in my community, I feel like I do a lot, whether it's putting other people on, teaching people how to make money themselves, providing jobs for my close friends, providing jobs for people that reach out to me, stuff like that. I'm trying to build my own little ecosystem. I say ecosystem economy. So that election ain't really fazed me. I know a lot of people feel different types of way about it.
They feel that way for 1 week, and the next week they're gonna not care anymore.
And then it also, now that we're gonna also a lot of people they so hurt, but then they feel it always stops after that one day. There's a lot more stuff you could do. I know there's small elections for your town and stuff that people don't vote for. The president's not the only thing that's gonna change your life. So let's just make it happen.
Yeah. So actually, it's funny because the reason I actually did ask you that is not because of I wanted to see what you who you voted for, this, that, and the third. It was more so just because you as a jeweler, you deal with a lot of gold. And, gold is definitely one of them commodities, or I should say metals, that definitely fluctuates, based off of big factors such as the economy. And one of gold's biggest supporters, I would say, is Trump himself. Because this dude I remember back in the day when I first started trading, I used to hate trading gold because he would just be tweeting and gold would go up, down, it would just start fluctuating out of nowhere just based off of what he was tweeting. And it's having him back in office, it's I know it probably could do great for his sales, or probably could hurt his sales there.
I feel with Trump back in office, even though we don't know how the economy is going to go yet, but it's the economy is going crazy right now. Just the fact that he's going to be in office, it could be just a little false start for real. But gold is not really dependent on America alone. That's globally traded, so it depends on every other country. And because right now they're using gold as direct to back the dollar now and to back everything, especially with BRICS, India, China, Brazil, gold is going up. Like gold always goes up over time. It always performs well, but now like it's going up at a crazy rate.
Yeah.
Which is kind of hurting me because now I got to charge people more, and that's actually hurting my sales, not helping my sales. But yeah, gold is going up. And then like you said, like you hated trading gold, but like even when you trade in gold, you're not trading that physical thing. So it's not the same. When you're trading gold, you're really trading the mining companies, you're really trading the investing companies. People are investing into gold, mining gold, but gold itself is a physical asset. And the best way to have it, I believe, is physically. If you want to sit down on some money, like I would get some gold bricks or even like a gold Cuban. But stuff for like gold Cubans, you are going to lose a couple of dollars because you're paying for the labor to making this stuff. But at the end of the day, it's going to go up. I just had a customer came back to me. His brother wants the same 350 gram Cuban that he bought from me last year. He paid me $16,000. My best price is $19,200. I said I could do it for him for. And then he's like, damn, that's crazy. It's only been a year. I'm like, it's so real. I'll buy yours back for the same $19,000. The one I sold you for $16,000. It's only been a year. And then like, it's crazy. Like, I can't do no better. I don't control the price of gold. I control the price of my labor. I control the price of how much I want to sell my diamonds for. But gold is gold. I could only make $1 at max per gram off of it. So
yeah, they even have like credit cards backed by gold too.
Yeah.
So it's like, imagine you put your money into those cards. Well, not credit cards. I think what debit cards are. Well, they're prepaids, right? I think they count as prepaids technically. But yeah, so imagine you put your money in there and then it's fluctuated up and down and whatnot. And then it's like you might swipe your card and it says, oh, decline. And you're like, how? But there might be other situations where, you know, you look at your balance and you're like, oh, wow, I have more than I thought, you know?
Yeah, for sure. But that's why, like, with anything you like diversify, you might want to have some of your investments in gold, some in the stock market, some in Bitcoin, like cryptocurrencies, because when one is up, one is down. That's why I like to like have my money in different things, even like real estate too, because whenever something's down, something else could be up.
That's true. And then also too, they just cut interest rates there. So you spoke on real estate. That's gonna be something to look out going into the new year. So I do respect, one thing I respect a lot is you actually asked for I guess an outline of how this episode going. Usually I do it sometimes if I need like my own clarity, where it's like I might go into an episode, I don't really know what the person really does and what their industry is really about. So for you, it was more so like a first time thing to where it's just like, now it's something I want to implement. So I do have a list of topics here and questions and stuff like that. And the first thing I wanted to ask was just, what is the procedure like when it comes to being a jeweler? Well, not being a jeweler, but well, from both sides, the consumer and the supplier standpoint. How does that work? Like, if I come to you and I say, hey, I want a chain or a ring or a watch, like, how does that process work?
What's your budget? That's always gonna be my first question, because I don't like to tax people too much, but at the end of the day, you gotta pay for quality. I know a lot of people, especially me being new, me being a minority, they come to me for the best price, but that's not really what my business is about. My business is like having the best quality for the price. So whatever you want to spend, I'll make the best piece for that amount. But you're not gonna get this and then you pay that, like, or you're not gonna say like, oh, another jeweler wants to charge me this, so can you do it for cheaper? If that's why you came to me, there's not really much business we could do here. But I do like to take care of my people, of course. But I always remind them that like buying jewelry, it's a luxury. Like you're doing this for fun. This is not like a necessity. So like, even when I was doing construction, I still do construction, but when I was doing construction, I give more leeway with that, because somebody might need their house fixed. They might need this fixed so that their tenant can move in, or that they can live, or they can live comfortably. When it comes to needs, I'm way more lenient. But when it comes to like, this is just a luxury, and then you want your piece and you want it the best way, and I want to make the money to build my business so I could expand and cater to more people, like, let's work with each other. So first, find out their budget, and then we say like, what do you want? And I usually don't try to give like a solid price up front, because if I do, I'm gonna have to like say a crazy number or say something high so that I'm in that budget. So I give them a range, and I say, let's design. So I charge them like the $350 design fee, which is lower than almost all other jewelers. They only charge like 500, 1,000, but $350 design fee. I design, and then like I know exactly how much it's gonna weigh, how much carats it's gonna be. So now I could give you a real number. I'm not gonna give you a made up number. So you know whatever you getting, you paying for it. Then I give you the option. I'm not gonna be a jeweler who said, "Oh, this piece is VS." I'm gonna let you know, like, do you want SI, VS, or VVS? Do you want 14 karat, 10 karat? I'm not just gonna sell you anything. You gonna know what you paying for, and then we work it out. You tell me what is negotiable to you and what's not. So if your budget is 5,000, the piece come out to 6. Like, do you want to downgrade the diamonds, or do you want to downgrade the gold? Do you want to make it smaller at the highest quality, or do you want to make it bigger at a cheaper quality? And then like people respect that because they feel like they getting their money's worth every time. And then I never had a customer complain. Let me knock on wood, but not yet, and hopefully never.
No, of course. So I mean, I guess you probably did answer this question. So I would say, like, you know, because is it more independent for you? Like, is this just something you do by yourself?
Yeah. So when I started out, I was reaching out to a lot of jewelers just for an internship. Like, all I wanted was an internship. Nobody responded. Like, I even did a piece with a jeweler. He's gassed me up like, "Yo, yeah, you know what you're talking about." Because when I was buying jewelry, I knew what I was talking about from before. I've been doing my research. It's like, "Oh, you know what you're talking about? Oh, definitely hit this person. I'm gonna have them pull you in, whatever." Once my piece was done, I spent my little $5,500. Never heard from him again. And at 55, I was young spending $5,000 on the chain, so that it kind of like hurt. But it's like, damn, I ain't even get nothing out of this. Other jewelers, nobody responded. So then I picked it up myself. I like went to different rooms in the Diamond District, met different people, did my own little stuff, made my own piece first, and then I started like expanding, doing other people's piece. But as I finally got like my own clients and stuff, that's when other jewelers like, "Nah, just come work with me. You don't have a store? Come stand behind my store. You don't have a booth? You don't have inventory? Come." But I'm like, nah, like I started by myself. I'll continue like this. I was able to get my first store in the Diamond District last year, and now I got a second one. And the second was not really a store. It's more like an office because I realized in the Diamond, not a lot of people can make it there by like 5 o'clock because I'm not staying there 7 p.m. A lot of people get out of work 5. They can't make it to the city. So I got another one in Queens where if you need to a diamond fell out your piece, I could put it back. You need your piece cleaned. You want to look at something specifically, I'll bring it there for you. Just a convenience to my customer. And I just hope like it shows like I'm trying to go the extra mile. So if y'all can't make it here, we could be here, but it's whatever. So yeah, so it's really an independent thing. Now I got my team. I got 2 of my bros that I pulled in to like get serious with this, and they've been doing well. I got some setters like consistent, because before it was like contract work. Like, when you do this, I pay you. Do this, I pay you. But now I got people like damn near on payroll every week, designers every week. Then I got my then I got my people. So I just work.
Okay. Yeah, because I was kind of looking at it in a different way. I thought it was like you said, you know, being like, you know, more on your own, have your own business, and it's just like I was kind of good compared to like the people you see in the mall, like in the mall booths. So you would say they're independent as well, or?
Nah, because the people in the mall booth, everything is like from one big manufacturer. So same thing with like jeans. Like, you might have gallery department, I think Amiri's in-house, but you might have all these different jeans brand, but it's coming from one clothing manufacturer. So I feel like with the mall, everything's coming from one manufacturer, and you're not going to go to the mall and order a custom, because they don't do custom work. They sell their inventory. I don't really have much inventory. I want to get to a point where I do have more inventory, but I like the custom standpoint because you know what you're getting. Even if it's just a Cuban, I'll make a Cuban from scratch. You know what you're getting. You know what quality I'm putting in your Cuban and everything. Okay.
Yeah, because that's kind of where my question was going. It was more so like, you know, what kind of separates you there between those guys in the mall, or not even those guys, but even like the stores too, like, you know, the Macy's, the K Jewelers and stuff like that.
Oh, what separates them from there is qualities. The quality is a big difference, and you wouldn't even know, because a lot of people think Zales, Jared, those are the best place to go, but go there, buy a pair of earrings, and look at, they put right on the earring, they put the quality that they're using. It's going to say K color. diamonds go by VVS, VS, SI, then I. Like I is the lowest. I don't even sell I diamonds. Like the lowest you would get from me is SI. And then color, I'm always looking at EF or high, like EF, G maybe. Like the lower the color, the yellower the diamond. So they're using terrible diamonds, but because they have the name, they could sell it for way more. So they selling earrings for $2,000 that I wouldn't sell at all. Or if I was to sell it, I'd be like, yo, these is $300. But people gonna back the name, and at the end of the day, I can't be mad, hate on them. I mean, they're a huge company, so I ain't worried about me. But at the end of the day, I look at it like branding. Once you brand, if Black Ice becomes a brand, I could sell nothing for a high price. I would never do that though, because I care about my customers. But once you got the name, it is what it is. You could have a shirt and a shirt with a Louis stamp. It could be $500. It could be $1. So it's all about branding. Yeah.
So one thing I did catch on Blvck Success, and also I see, is like you're into watches, right?
Yeah.
I mean, me too as well, because actually my first job I was working in finance. I was working out in Tourneau. You know, Tourneau. Yeah, I was working there. So I wasn't really big into like, because I'm more of like somebody that just can't listen. I'm just here to do what I'm paid to do, and that's that. It's like as I got older, I started to say, okay, let me take interest into what. Not just what I'm doing as like my job, but also to like, you know, what this industry is about. So when I was at Tourneau, I started learning a little bit about watches in general, right? Even me, like I love the Movado watches. I used to get these like, you know, on sale and whatnot.
That's love me a watch.
Oh, Movado? Yeah. I don't know. It's so simple. They're so simple, and I like just the no numbers on it.
Yeah, I like
so the simplicity to it is like why I collect them and whatnot. But yeah, so I know when it comes to, especially like you said, in our community, everybody loves to get the watches, right? The watches come before the chain. I'm guessing because of pricing, but also too, like, I guess probably just the different designs and stuff like that could come with it. So I know the main question a lot of people like to, well, not main question, but the main topic people like to speak about is, bust downs versus plain Janes, right? So I've heard different responses to this question, but what do you feel is like what do you feel like makes one better than the other to have? Between the bust downs and the plain Janes.
Bust downs, the jewelers make more money. I could tell you that for sure. So, but you see, I have on a plain Jane. I encourage my community to buy plain watches because it's not all about the money for me every time. Like I make my money other thing. I make my money in chains. I make my money in thing. Still probably make a couple points on the watch, but at the end of the day, like I want my community. You feel comfortable with what you spend, and times get tough. And if you gotta go sell that watch now, you might have spent $50,000 on a plane and $20,000 on a bust down, but you only get back $10,000 on a bust down. You might get back the damn near close to the full 50 on the plane. So the plain watch is like it holds more value. And it's on a wider market, because if someone wear iced out watches or plain watches, you could sell them both, because you could sell them a plain watch if they were plain. If they were iced, you could sell them a plain watch and they could ice it out. But if you have an iced out watch can't turn back to plain. So you have a very direct market, and the watch market is huge. Like black people, white people, Asian, everyone buy watches. But when it comes to the iced out market, it kind of like, it's a little bit smaller, and so supply and demand. I can't give you all this money for an iced out watch because it's harder for me to sell it.
Right.
So so I always say plain Jane watches, but I like iced out watches more because like you sometimes just want to shine. Especially it depends where you're going. During the day, I like the plain Jane watch, but at nighttime, the iced out watch it's different. It hits different in the clubs. It hits different when you outside. Like it looks better. And then at the end of the day, if you buy right, you can't really lose money too much. So what you just have to be careful for is the aftermarket watches, because jewelers now, they're selling, and I don't think there's nothing wrong with it if they tell you what they're selling you, but they're selling like completely fake watches with diamonds, and you're just paying for the diamonds. So. But some of them are charging you like it's the real watch. That's when I feel like it's the problem, because they're selling like aftermarket APs for $30,000. I'm like, it's a fake watch with diamonds. That shit not worth no more than $8,000, $10,000.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta be careful. At least if you're gonna buy like an iced out watch, just buy right. Buy it at the right price and try to make sure that it's an authentic watch, because a lot of these iced out watches don't come with papers.
Mm-hmm. One thing I often hear too is just the essence of, well, the value of time itself, right? Like, it's easier to sell a plain Jane over time compared to a bust down if I wanted to resell it. Or pawn it or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. If you wanted to resell it, like, you could take a plain Jane watch into probably any authorized user stores. You could take it to a jeweler. You can take it to another person. There's group chats. It's easier. But the iced out watches is like, you can only sell to a jeweler or to another person who wants to buy an iced out watch. So it's like it's a smaller market. It doesn't mean it's a worse watch, but it's just a smaller market to reach out to.
Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, I was just taking a look through the outline here. So, so we emphasize the value of time. So what about understanding, like, I guess, does the what you call it, like the colorway, does that really matter? Like, silver versus gold versus like
so
rose
some
gold?
watches are made out of most watches, do I want to say, don't quote me on that, but I believe most watches are made out of stainless steel. Those are going to be like a little bit cheaper because you don't have to pay for raw material. You're just paying for, because watches, you're paying for the name and the movement, because the movements on these watches be crazy.
What do you mean by the movement?
Let me see it.
Like you're saying with the links, or?
Nah, so a lot of these watches on the back, you could see straight through the movement. So APs, Patek's, like you really seeing like the craftsmanship.
Oh, you're saying like the gears.
What the gears, exactly.
Okay.
So you really see the craftsmanship inside the watch.
And that's more. Sorry to cut you off. That's more on the high end watches, or that's all watches?
All watches, but
really?
your see-through might not be, your movement might not be see-through. You can't see it, but if you open a watch, there's a movement. But like the lower end watches would be using like a quartz movement, which is like a movement that globally, like anyone could just buy it. It's like a cheaper movement versus like the higher end watches. They're I forgot the name of them, but they're like certain movement, Swiss movement, certain type of different movements. Like they might make in-house by hand, and the watches might take hours or weeks to make. And that's what you're paying for, like those type of labor. So that's the first thing I give a watch a cost. And then the next thing that I might give a watch a cost is its name. Like, so if you hear Rolex, Audemars, Patek, it's gonna be more money. But back to what I was saying, the raw material of the watch, if it's stainless, it's gonna be cheaper versus if it's white gold, rose gold, the yellow gold, it's gonna be more. And then if it's platinum, even more, because you're paying for the raw materials.
Okay. Yeah. So, so we definitely hit there. So now going back to that part, right? So you spoke about stainless steel. So what about fool's gold? Like, just the phrase itself. People talk about fool's gold, and they talk about like you mentioned in the episode, moissanite and stuff like that. So well, first of all, what, for the audience that doesn't know, what is that, and also too, how can you like spot it?
So gold and diamonds is like two different industries, I feel like. So, it's in the same industry, but two different things. So with gold, you can't really tell real or fake gold from looking at it. There's no tester to like beat like there's scratch tests, chemical tests, and computer tests that you could put it in like a machine. So it's really easy to get away with fake gold until your neck change color or till it starts fading. That's when you're gonna know. But a lot of people not really going for fake gold. If they're going for something fake, it's gonna be fake diamonds. So the lowest end to fake diamond would be CZ, which is not a diamond. Now they got moissanite, which is also not a diamond, but moissanite hits harder than diamonds, and it's almost as hard as a diamond, and it passed basic diamond testers. So a lot of people been wearing that, but people are catching on now, because when your diamonds is not hitting white, they're hitting like pink, bright, all different types of colors, too hard. They're like, oh nah, that might not be real. And things that moissanite is cheaper than diamonds, but it's still not cheap. You still might end up paying like $2,000, $3,000 for a chain. But if you get it in diamonds, it might have been $20,000, $30,000. So now there's also lab diamonds, which is cheaper than natural diamonds. Lab diamonds is actually a diamond, but it's not created in the earth. It's created in the lab.
Okay.
A complete exact replica of a diamond, and there's natural diamond, which is the highest that we've been used to for years. But
I'm here thinking it's all like the same material, just blended a different way.
So like same carbon material.
Okay.
And diamonds is made under pressure. So they found that we got technology to replicate the pressure now to build those diamonds. But at first I wasn't even into lab diamonds. Like when I first started building, I like only use precious metals and natural diamonds only. Till I realized everybody wanted lab diamonds. These big celebrities wearing lab diamonds. All these jewelers who have millions of dollars in inventory of natural diamonds realize they got to sell lab diamonds because it's like supply and demand. You got to keep up with the market. So for me to say no to something, I'm losing money. So like I'm more like, nah, I don't want. I had seen somebody come back with a chain after coming to me for a quote. He's like, yeah, bro, you didn't offer lab diamond. I was thinking about it. I'm like, do I want to ruin my brand? Like I'm too new. That's how I was looking at it. But then I'm like, no. Like if you telling people what they getting, they gonna respect it. So now I give the option. Like, okay, you want a custom? Your budget is $5K. I can make it in this size with natural stones. Or I can make it this much bigger in lab diamonds. And you pick. And a lot of people are going for the lab diamonds. But the only thing about the black community, which is my community, they're afraid that I'm gonna go say what they got. That's not my job to tell another person. So okay, look, if you come to me and you get a lab chain, and then somebody else that might know you went to me might come, oh yeah, let me get what he got. Did he get lab or did he get natural? That's not my job to tell.
Right.
That's why they'll prefer going to another jeweler. They feel like, oh, he's not gonna say what I got, but Dawn is around the same people as me, so he's gonna know thing. Like there's things that I never do. I never say what the person got. I never say how much they paid. So if you want something like this, we could talk the numbers. We could talk your numbers now. We could talk what you want, and I could make it similar. But I'm not gonna tell you what they paid or what they put in their piece. I'm not gonna tell you whether they did SI or VS. Like that's not my job. So. And I feel like that makes people really respect the business more, like the confidentiality between me and the customer.
Yeah, so that was actually a personal question there because I actually always wanted to know, like, so not to say that I go around looking at people's jewelry in that way, but at least I know when I see somebody's chains shining a little too bright on me or somebody's watch, you know. But yeah, so one thing I wanted to also ask as well, well, not really ask, but kind of drift into that topic is just like the celebrities who promote these type of jewelries now. Like I know, yeah, there's an endorsement, they get paid for it, but how do you feel about guys like, I think it was Kevin Gates that came out and said like, you know, or not him, I think it was Moneybagg Yo that was saying like they was wearing fakes even after they got on, and even a couple other people, I think some basketball players. Yeah,
I know a lot of people, especially athletes, they wear a lot of fake jewelry because like the athletes, they got the money, they don't care. But I feel like with rappers coming up, they might wear more fake jewelry because like it's part of your brand, it's part of your image, and because like you could hear somebody drop a song and it could be alright, and you not respect like, yo, who's this person? But you see them come out, oh, this jewelry, you bumming in like, oh, now who's this? So it's like from a marketing standpoint, it makes sense. But usually when rappers get on, they don't want to get caught with fake stuff, especially with the whole rap type of the type of culture, rap culture, you might get your chain snatched.
No, but I'm saying even after, like there's some rappers who like to say, yeah,
I'm saying
now.
there's some, but they don't want to get caught saying that.
Of course not.
Yeah, like I know 50 Cent, he said he had got a chain made, the real one, and then he wore the Moissanite one because he didn't want to get it taken. Remember they're still wearing $200,000-$300,000 pieces. You don't want it. $300,000 gonna hurt for anybody. So it's like, I mean, I tell everybody, do what makes you comfortable. I'm not gonna tell someone like, oh, you wear fake jewelry, you a fake person. But certain people just have like different like morals to certain thing. Like some people be like, yo, if you can't afford it, don't get it. Some people be like, if I like it, why not? So I feel like that's really a independent question for each person. Like I never wore fake jewelry because that's not just something I would do. And I feel like the fact that I don't wear fake jewelry, it feels good when you could finally afford it, because then it feels like you worked for it. And to a lot of people, like when they do, which it might be weird, and if you don't understand it, if you're not from around it, but you get your first watch, you get your first chain, I really feel like an accomplishment, because it's not about the watch or the chain itself, it's like what you had to do to get here, to be able to spend $20,000 on one thing maybe. So to some people is really a trophy.
Even though it might not be the right purchase. I mean, you could say it's an asset itself because, you know, obviously, like I said earlier, you know, things like price of gold and stuff like that. But
yeah, it might not be the right purchase. Like, I'm not saying that you're going to get your money back, but the fact that you got there, you was able to make that move, like when you finally be able to make that move, you feel like I put in work to get to this point. And then that's for some people, that just would it be.
Yeah, I feel like one thing that I would say is, when it comes to the marketing, I feel like people don't care because, well, one, they see rich people coming out and saying, hey, you know, I don't wear real stuff, or not even just when it comes to jewelry, but even the bags. Like when you're on Chinatown, you see them selling this stuff on Canal, and you see rich white people in suits buying them and stuff like that. You kind of see that. It kind of makes you feel like maybe me having like the flyest gear, whether it's jewelry or clothes, isn't like really a necessity. And then it's just like now, like I said, going to the endorsement side and the promotion, you see like these rappers that, well, not just rappers, even YouTubers. I see like certain videos, you see, oh, this video is sponsored by, and they're promoting these like, you know, brands that are selling like more of the like the fake stuff. I mean, I'm sure there's probably some that are real, but they'll even tell you, oh yeah, like they have moissanite here, and that's kind of how I learned about moissanite myself, just through YouTube. But they say, oh yeah, you know, this video is sponsored by this jeweler, and then like I said, the intro will tell you, oh, this person has moissanite, and they have this, and like you said, the different levels and the letters and all that stuff, and yeah.
Now some celebrities just endorse it that they don't even wear, so it's like you could give them moissanite chain and be like, I know, like for example, Lil Durk, he talk about going to Izzy the jeweler, that's NYC luxury jewelers all the time, but he has a whole gold gods collection, and I know they pay for that. So is he not going to take his money? It's fake. It's $100 chains that they're selling, but he made his money. So it's like it depends. Some people just like endorse certain things, but then there's some people who are wearing fake jewelry, not because they want you to know it's fake. They wearing it because either or you're gonna think it's real. But people got to understand that, like if one of these artists go and buy a fake $100,000 watch for $500, you gonna think it's real regardless. But if you go get a $100,000 watch for $50, they might be like, yo, I can see that, bro. Like, let me see that. Then it's gonna be a difference. I mean, you ain't never gonna see this artist to G-check him, or you might, even if you do see, you're not gonna ask no questions. But same thing, like if they wear fake Jordans, you're not gonna know. But if you wear fake Jordans, somebody gonna look at those like, nah,
that
bro,
jump
like,
kind of crooked.
So it's like it's gonna be more noticeable on a regular person. But at the end of the day, if you're comfortable with that, I feel like if you don't want to wear that expensive jewelry, you could just wear costume jewelry. Like a lot of girls are getting their jewelry from Shein. There's like these little websites that it's nice, like stainless steel jewelry, stuff like that. Something to like accessorize, but you don't have to wear like this regular same fake.
Yeah, even like in the stores too, like the Forever 21s, the American Eagles, like, the little, even Century 21, you know, like the little section there where they be selling like the earrings and stuff. Yeah, no, because one thing I was gonna say too is like I'm sure there probably like some people probably so there's probably some crooked jewelers out there that's like selling these people some bad stuff. Because like you have this situation like with Ace Hood a couple years ago, or it was probably way back.
With who?
Ace Hood. It was like at the BET Awards, his like rollie fell apart.
Yeah, but I don't. And no jeweler is selling like fake stuff. Like that's illegal.
I don't think it was fake.
They might be selling like low quality and tell you it's a higher quality or something. But there's no jewelers out here being like, oh, I'm giving you moissanite and telling you it's diamonds, or I'm giving you this and telling you it's that. So it's just like they might not sell you the quality they said, or they might give you like a put together watch or something like that. But they're not gonna sell you nothing completely fake, because once you get caught, that's gonna tarnish your name. I mean, Lil Baby got sold a fake Patek anniversary. He found out because somebody sold online, like, nah, that's not shaped the right way. He went back to the jeweler. They apologized, gave him his money back same day. They didn't authenticate it, gave him 4 rings and stuff. But it's like, you can't really make up that embarrassment from that high level. Like, you at a high level, then you get caught with this. It's like, there's nothing you could really, I'm pretty sure he's never gonna shop with them again.
Yeah, no, because you know, well, you watch basketball?
Not really, but
you know Damian Lillard?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you know how he says Dame time, right?
Yeah.
It's like anytime he has a bad game, it's like I have this one friend, he makes that Ace Hood like reference every time. He's like, that's the same watch he talk about. I watched that fell apart. Yeah, it's just bad funny. Just think about that. Yeah. But yeah. So I mean, when it comes to the influence thing, though, I do feel like you said, that it makes sense. You know, people not gonna think like this person. Well, people have a fake, but then they're gonna think anybody is wearing a fake, even if it is real. So do you think that there's also not just from influence standpoint, but you feel like there's like a demographic thing there too? Like, I guess I kind of answered my question when I mentioned the bags earlier, but do you think like, let's say for example, like I might think like you're wearing like a fake watch, but then it's like a white person come by and they're wearing the same exact watch. But I don't question.
For sure, because it's like if you have on a $50,000 watch, and well, it depends to who, because you might see me and be like, oh, I'm not saying you could probably think like, how okay, you see somebody in a $50,000 watch, you don't know me, like how did he get that? You could think like, I don't know how you think. Some people might be like, oh, maybe scam, maybe trap, or maybe he a business owner. Then to the white people, they might look like, yo, either it's just fake and he's faking it, or he actually does something, and they might like say nice watch and start that combo just out of curiosity. And I noticed like when I wear my plain Jane watches, I wear it in those like environments, especially like when I'm like probably like shopping at like Manhasset or something, or I go to like the restaurants there. Like people compliment me on my watch. Like there might be a few people just walk by and look at me weird, like, but there'd be a few people like, oh, like nice watch, and we start talking. I met some people like that. But then when I go to the, like, let's say the club or like thing in a plain Jane watch, nobody noticed it. But I throw on an iced out watch and it's like, oh, nice watch. What you do? Then I'm like, oh, I'm a jeweler. So it's like, it's not people going to say, oh, you're what do you call it? Like you're profiling or you're being raised or whatever. Not. This is business. You learn your demographic. You learn your audience. You learn what your audience like. Not all black people gonna like iced out watches, but majority of them, that's what they tend to. That's what I'm aware in that environment. Then not all white people gonna like plain Jane watches. Some of them love iced out watches too, but I'm gonna wear whichever one I think is gonna go more for the day. So it's all about learning your demographic, learning your audience, learning the people who are shopping with you, learn how to market, and then going for the bigger crowd that you're at. So whatever you think people, if there's 20 people in a room and you know 11 of them are going like this and 9 of them going like this, wear what the 11 like, because you have a higher chance of landing a sale or something.
Yeah, and it's definitely a good icebreaker to have, because even there's this one guy, Curtis Quo, he's a big real estate guy in New York and whatnot, and he came to one of our networking events as a guest speaker, and he was telling us how, like, you know, jewelry is definitely one of the biggest, well, not just jewelry, but fashion in general is one of the biggest icebreakers there, because when he's talking to people, it's funny enough, like a lot of people don't even know what they're wearing, but he's talking to people, he might say, oh, nice watch, that's the limited edition AP such and such. And that person wearing the watch is like, oh, really? I didn't know, I just thought it was AP. Because some people just like, because I have the money, I just buy it. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that would be the approach, and it's like he's talking to them and they go, oh, what are you into? And then, you know, he pitches, you know, he does real estate, stuff like that. And for you, it could be the same thing too, especially you being an actual jeweler. It's like you might actually know, oh, that's actually a limited edition. This is from 2016 or something like that. You might say that and people will be like, wow, he's very knowledgeable. And then that strikes the conversation there, and then boom, another sale.
So I always try to have on something. If I don't have on a watch, I wear like one of these chains. These are my logo. I always have on like either one of these. I always have on something that people said that someone gonna be like probably notice. So like, yeah, so there's always like a little icebreaker. Or if I see somebody else, I'll be like, nice watch. Let me know if you're interested, or if you ever want to buy another one or sell this one or trade it in, and then just like make the combo. And then not everybody I talk to is going to want to buy jewelry. Sometimes people just buy one thing and they're done. But I always make the combo because I don't only sell jewelry. Like, because a lot of people like, oh, like if they might see my watch, like, okay, oh, that's all from jewelry. I'll be like, no, I also do this too. Like if you, and even in the diamond district, like another jeweler, we doing business, like business to business, but he found out that I did construction and he had a whole job for me, like with a whole building. So I'm like, you never know who does what, like who needs what. In the Diamond District, a lot of these jewelers ask for rentals or even rentals for their customer. Like, yo, like you got one, like just something economy. Like I'll be getting my rentals out through there. So it's like I always introduce what I mainly focus on, which is the jewelry right now. But then I always try to drop everything else in there, because if you're not buying this from me, can I sell you this? Can I sell you this? I can't sell you nothing. What can you sell me? So let's see.
Yeah, so speaking of rentals, so this is an off-topic question, but I saw that you tagged PJ Luxury. That's you guys? That's your team? Or?
So PJ Luxury, they're like, I like to work with them because they're a different market than me. If I'm working with like someone doing the same exact thing as me, I'm gonna kind of keep it separate, because you can take all my customers or I can take all yours. Right. But he does like high-end cars. I did economy. So
he also does the jets too, right? The private jets.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, I'm not too sure, but I know him for like, if you need a Rolls Royce, or if you need a Lamb truck, if you need a Maybach, you need private transportation, like you going to him. But for me, if you just need a car for the day, car for the week, you want to Uber Eats, you want to do that, like I'm the person to come to, because it's not. I don't gotta do as much work and as much client type of like tending to the client. Like the key has the keys to the car, don't break it. Right. Like something simple like that. And I realized that I thought it was gonna be easier, but that's a much harder job, because now people are not respecting these cars at all. They gonna respect their Lamb truck with their $2,000 security deposit. With my $500 security deposit, this Nissan, they don't care. So I had like a lot of car accidents and a lot of stuff. And then the turnaround time, the return on investment for these cars is way longer, because if my note, I got to rent my car out for probably like 10 days to make my note. They could rent their car for 1 day and make their note for the month. That's or 2 days. So it's like, it's a faster turnaround on these luxury cars, but it's also still a bigger risk, because if you crash my Nissan, $30K lost. You crash one of those, $300K lost. $300K. So it's like, it's how you want to play it. Personally, if I had the chance, I would never have gotten to the car rental business. Yeah, it was a great start, and from there it just went down. But
yeah, I met those guys the same day I met Zach. So I was like, oh, it's such a small world when I seen that, and I did do like a vlog that event. So they were definitely in there for sure.
Yeah, we did a little collab post, because they got the luxury cars, and then I got the luxury with jewelry is a luxury, so it worked hand in hand. So like his client base most likely to buy jewelry, and just like how my client base most likely to rent cars, if they don't have their own, of course. Yeah,
I like that connection there. Yeah, so that's actually like that's the Black Ice logo, right?
Yeah, so this is my logo. Do you have, which is also a tax write-off if anybody ever wants to get their logos done. You can write off on your taxes, because it's marketing. So if you want to go get a what's cooking pendant,
don't
big
get me
one,
started.
Whatever you made for the year, you can write it right off on top.
Yeah, because I was actually gonna ask, what would be like your dream design? Like I already know mine. It's funny because like this whole month I've been talking about it. So like now running into you, it's like, wow, what a coincidence. Now I actually know who I'm gonna go to when I want it done. But
you have dream design for like a pendant?
Yeah, a pendant, maybe even a dream watch or anything like that.
Like pendants, I done made so many for myself, and I kept saying like, oh, this is for marketing, this is for marketing, this is like you showing you wasting, like I'm wasting money. But at the end of the day, I practice. I took it as practice, but I done made so many pendants. Like it's like I just like keeping it simple now, or I just wear a Cuban or something. But like I really like watches now. But the watches that I'm looking at is like 200, 300K. Like I want an AP skeleton. Or
I remember I did hear that.
Or like a Patek 5712 rose gold. That's like another 200,000. Like I'm looking at stuff like this, when it comes out. There's no rush.
So like if you retired right now, you don't have like this one final Black Ice piece that you would like to have, just as like this is it, like this is me, like I'm out of the game, like.
No, it would be a watch. So it would definitely be a watch. It would be that AP skeleton. I could settle with that one.
Yeah, mine is crazy. I have a couple designs. It's like I have one because like when I was in the Forex game, it's like my name was kind of known because it's like a lot of people looked up to me as a good trader, but I was also very vocal. So it's like I used to pull people's cards. I used to call people out and whatnot. So he was like, yeah, because like there was a lot of like scamming going on and stuff like that. So yeah, like I said, my name like it was funny because I gave my name the nickname because this is when like Peppa Pig was like trending like as a meme. Like they'll make a lot of Peppa Pig memes, right? Yeah. So I call myself Peppa Pips instead because Pips that's a Forex term. So yeah, like people used to run with it. So I'm just like, yo, like even when I used to go to the events, like the network marketing events and stuff, people would be like, oh shit, that's Peppa Pig. Like I felt like a little bit of a celebrity in the moment. You feel me? So I was just like, nah, I gotta really like get up there and get that chain made because like, this is me at like 19 years old or not 19 though, like 20 years old, whatever, 21. I'm just like, yeah, nah, I need that chain made now because I need to walk around these events feeling like, I'm somebody. But my head was gassed at the time, but I was just like, yeah. I mean, me, like more so now, me, it's like I would want the chain more so as like my own like memento, like my own memoir, like, when I'm, even like 50 years from now, God forbid, I'm still living and whatnot. Well, I wouldn't say God forbid, but still like, yeah. If I could live that, if God willing, I should say, if I could live that long, I'll have that chain just to show my grandchildren, my kids, whatever. Like, yeah, I used to really, I mean, I feel like I would still be doing that, but still, it's just like, I remember I got this when I was like 25 or whatever, and it's like, this is the chain right here. So for me, it would be like just like it would be a what do you call it, the necklace, like a thing. It would say like Peppa Pips across it with like the uptrend in the middle, like going through the words. And then probably like
for sure,
like in the middle probably be like a symbol, like the symbol of whatever like currency that did it for me, if that makes sense.
Yeah, nah.
So it's like if it was like a Japanese yen, it'd be like a yen thing right there, or like even if it was a crypto too, like like I joke with my friends all the time because like I'm big on XRP. I'm just like it's probably gonna be that XRP logo in the middle right there, like
it'll be
something like that. Then I got like another one where it's like an actual like what do you call that one? Like the rectangle ones. Like, are there different terms to them all?
Nah,
okay, so it's just like a pendant, right?
Yeah, rectangle pendant.
Yeah, rectangle pendant, where it just probably be like Reese's Pieces, like, because people start calling me that too. It's funny because I never went by these nicknames, but it's because people went with them and kind of gave me that, like, I guess, confirmation to go with those names, like, kind of go there. So I have like a Reese's Pieces one here, and it would be like that, that bar graph emoji. Yeah, I'll probably do that like in the middle. Or I'll probably do something else.
One just like that.
I saw that one. Yeah, you said something like buy the asset. You talk about that one?
Yeah,
it was like buy the asset and then.
Yeah, I did something.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Hopefully y'all can see. Like, But yeah, so the good thing about jewelry though, even if you're not looking to really get, I don't usually design, but for no reason, but we could always like just put that design on a computer so you could see it. Seeing it is like that's the first step. You see, you touch, obtain. So we could we gonna show that on another episode and probably drop it on the gram. We gonna design it like online, just on the computer, just cause. So we could definitely do that for sure.
Yeah. So what? I mean, you being a serial entrepreneur and whatnot. Like, are there any other ventures you into? Like I said, I see you into fitness a lot too on your
into
your
what?
post. Like the fitness, I see you usually at.
Oh yeah.
Like, are you a trainer or?
Yeah, I got a personal trainer now. Okay. I've been into fit. Like I had a personal trainer for like.
No, I'm saying, are you like you a personal trainer or?
Oh, nah.
Oh, okay. I seen a couple of your posts.
Yeah,
when I was
a lot of people be wanting to ask to come to gym with me and stuff. I mean, it's just like I feel like that's like sometimes people just build relationships like that. So I always just go, but like yeah, like I'm in the gym every morning like 6 a.m. and then that's like really the only time I have. Then I just start my day. Usually my day is usually like jewelry. There's like always jewelry clients. On a couple of days would be like construction, but construction I'm not in the field no more. So it's like just gotta check in on my team. My right hand, Adrian, he controlling the team for me. So that's that. The stocks, whenever I have leftover money, which is not often because my money is always reinvested into the jewelry, because I like having that gold, that inventory, because like gold goes up faster than the dollar, of course. Dollar don't even go up, so I'm always reinvesting. But with stocks, I'm jumping into it if I feel like there's gonna be a big move, because like I look at stocks like I'm investing into somebody else's dream over mine. So I'm always investing into my dream first, and then what's left over I'll be in the stocks. But right now, I am opening another business. This like as we speak right now, just to get more capital to do what else I want to do. So y'all gonna see that very soon. It's a business where it's less hands-on and not a lot of liabilities, not a lot to deal with customers, but just a lot of cash flow. So that'll be like I think, 4th or 5th business. And then I have an end goal that I really want to get to, because right now I do jewelry like as my main thing. But even with the construction, it was more like I could help my community. Jewelry, I don't look at it like I'm helping. I just felt like this is an industry where we spend a lot, and regardless if I become a jeweler or not, people gonna spend money on jewelry. So why not make some money in the industry? But I always, especially people close to me, and they want to make that purchase, and I see how they living, or I see that like it's not my business. I might say it's not my business, but like why don't you try doing this move first, and then come back to me in a year and see how that goes. Or like do this, because like I'm a fair person. Like you, like this money goes faster than it comes every time, and I know that for sure, because I done seen 6 figures going like easy. So it's like you got to learn to like reinvest your money. You make that first 20K, you going to get that watch to show like, yeah, I did it, but why not turn to 100 then spend the 20? And I tell people. So right now I'm working on another business. Then I want to open up a school. I'm not gonna talk too much about that. And then I want to do like the school, and then I want to do like a trade school, like stuff like that, to like just build more stuff like for the community. So like we understand the dollar and like and how to use it. And then the jewelry is like a final endpoint. That I believe that should be the endpoint. You made it. You comfortable where you at. That's when you spend. You shouldn't be spending trying to show people you got it. Even though that's exactly what I did for sure. Like before I had jewelry, when I spent that $5,500, I probably had. I actually made a good stock plate, because that was actually that day when I bought that chain. That was my first real stock plate. I made $10,000 from 1,000. So in the weekend, like, because you can't trade on the weekend. Friday, and I woke up on Monday, it was 11,000. I took more than half of that and spent it right on the chain. Then I tried to reinvest the rest and lost it. So now we back to a chain and no money. A chain, like I had a chain and no money, but I felt like the man because I had the chain. I'm like, you could take the money, but you're not taking the chain. But then I learned, like, if I had that other 5,500, I could have came back faster. But now I'm starting from zero again. So that's why I tell people, like, you gotta like be intentional with your money. Don't let nobody tell you how to spend it, and don't make nobody shame for however you do spend it. But just be intentional, because people tell me about how I spend my money all the time, but I'm here. I don't have no kids, and my mom is good. So that like I just try to like do what I want to do while I still can.
Yeah. So one question that I want before we wrap up, one question I wanted to ask too, I should ask earlier, is like, who would you say is like the biggest client that you've had? And when I say biggest, I'm not saying like they spent the most money, or even if you do want to shout that person out, not who spent the most, but who's that person that always comes back? Is there anybody going to give a special shout out to any special clientele? I shout out to
a couple customers.
Any notable clientele, like a notable rapper clients, or anything like that? Celebrity? I
built a very good relationship with one of my clients, Izzy.
Okay.
He like
that's who you mentioned earlier, right? Or somebody else?
No, I didn't mention him. He really believed like that I could do, because when he came to me, I was only like 6 months in, and he's like, I want this chain. My budget $50,000. I'm like, hold on, like it sounded good, and I'm like, damn, like, can I produce $50,000 quality work? And I'm trying to say like, yeah, we could do this, but it's not gonna be $50,000. He's like, nah, I want to spend the whole 50. You can do it. He's telling me like, you can do it. So then we made this piece, and then came out really good, and he liked it. He still got to this day. But now that it's been 3 years later, I'm like, yo, I could do this 10 times better. And I can't wait for him to ready to switch it out or something. I'm gonna go crazy. But he spends money with me all the time, and we did so much business together that he ended up like, he does like designs for me, like because he sells like hats and stuff. He makes hats,
so he does graphic design.
So like, yeah, so he started designing pieces for me. So that's a really good customer. All my customers at the beginning, like I really think, even if they spend a little bit of money, like just get my name out there. My first customer ever was it's bad. Her Instagram name is Dark Skin Slim. I want to shout her out because she bought the first piece for me, because at the time I had pieces posted, but those are all pieces I made for myself. And that's how I got like, okay, he can make jewelry. So she was the first client to actually buy something. And then, yeah, but everybody, I'm thankful for every sale I get. I treat my same people, when people spending $300, I treat them like the people who spend $50,000, because at the end of the day, you could have went to anybody. And then I'm not the biggest jeweler by far. To me, I'm the biggest, but I'm not the biggest jeweler by far. There's definitely jewelers like more known, did more work, been passed on from family to family, 30 years plus, and you could have went to them, but you came to me. So I just be thankful for all customers.
Yeah, and you also want them to always come back.
They always like, and one of my favorite things to do, this is off top, but one of my favorite things to do is engagement rings. I feel like that one, like those really leave like a legacy, like those. So it's a memory. So everyone who came to me and got an engagement ring, that's like something like I really put a lot of care, a lot of time into. I done engagement rings where I looked at it and scrapped the whole thing and went right back over again, just because of how much I love it and I know how much that might mean to somebody.
Yeah, so to wrap up, what would you say is one thing that if, let's just say I wanted to start jewelry business tomorrow, because actually I seen one of my friends in the comments too, and you replied to him, he was like, you have a course? He was like, no, it's all a free game. So what is one thing that you would tell anybody that wanted to start today?
Yeah, so it's all free game, and the reason why I always say everything is free game, because it doesn't matter who you tell what, only 1 out of 100 is going to make that move, and then maybe 2 out of 100 going to make that move, and it might only work for 1. So anything people ask me, I always tell them, but the main thing you want to do, you want to have capital, which means cash. If you want to be on your own, when a customer wants a piece and he only wants to pay 50% up front, like if you want a $50,000 piece and he only wants to pay 50, do you have $25,000 to finish the piece, or at least $10,000 to finish the piece so you could get your profit at the end? You got to have that. So I was heavy, like when I first started jewelry, I was heavy on the construction, because that money like had to come to like finish these people's pieces. And especially earlier on, people don't want to give you half, not even a quarter of the money, because they want to make sure like, is this really good? So you want to have capital, and then you want to have a customer. You could come work with me tomorrow, and I could give you 10 pieces to sell. If you can't sell nothing, you don't have a jewelry business. So you want to have the customer and then the capital. So those are the two main things you want to have. And then the knowledge sells itself. You knowledgeable, the customer gonna respect you, and then you can go from there.
All right. So just like that, just let everybody know where they could find you at, how they could check out your stuff.
The business, like, so my personal gram is Don Black, DONBLVCK _. I purposely did a V, so no copyright with anybody else who have Black. The company name is Black Eyes. On Instagram, BLVCKICE Jewelry. So Black Eyes Jewelry. You can, in my bio, you're gonna see all my other businesses. My Instagram name says follow my business page, not me, because I feel like the business is bigger than me. So all my businesses is in my bio. And
I respect that.
Yeah, so it's really fun.
So, it was definitely a pleasure to have you up here. As always, show love. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Check out some of our other guests as well. And so you never know. Let them know what's Cookin sent you, and maybe it'll give you a nice little $100 off or something, you know? Yeah, so that was a pleasure. It's Breeze. We out.